Hey everyone, and welcome back to Chicken Cindy's. Today is my first episode in a new series that I'm going to call the Bang for Buck Bike Build. So, what do I mean by Bang for Buck Bike Build? This bike build is not necessarily going to be budget, but it is also not going to be top of the line components. So as you can see in front of me, I'm going to dive in today what I decided to use as my drivetrain for my new bike build that I'll be doing. So, if you've been following the channel, you will know that Single Track Jack gave me, well, didn't give me, he sold me his old full suspension. So we're in the process of going to be building him up a new hardtail. And I decided to take that bike and rebuild it entirely. So I'm so very excited to get into this project with all of you and show you what all I did. And today is the first episode, as I said. But I decided to go with the microSHIFT drivetrain. I'm very, very excited over all this stuff. It's very friendly in price, and it's got some really good reviews. This will be the first time I've ever experienced or used any of this microSHIFT stuff. This is the Advent 10, or the Advent X, so it's the 10-speed one. Little cable crimp. Nice to know that this shifter does come with an actual cable installed, so that's great. I'm guessing, yeah, you can see there, it just goes through that. So, it feels good. It feels like metal. That might be plastic there. The top is definitely metal. Okay, that feels pretty good. So how many can it click once? 1, 2, 3. Oops, messed that up, didn't I? Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. So it goes by threes. If you need to. 1, 2. Okay, cool. So that's the shifter. This is the more expensive shifter. They offer two variants of this in the Advent X, and for everything that I went with, I went the slightly more expensive stuff. But let's check out the derailleur. So just this in the box. And all right, so those roll pretty good. They feel nice. It looks good. I really like the all blacked out on this. That's one of the nicest things in my opinion. All right, so right now the clutch is off. You can see that it turns on, and I believe it uses a form of ratchet. Yeah, you can hear that. Okay, so here. That's the ratchet as it goes down. Springs feel good. I like it because the adjuster screws are actual Allen keys and not a Phillips head or a flat head, so that's nice. Looks good. I was showing this, but I didn't touch base on it, but I just went with the basic KMC 10-speed chain. It's got the quick link as well, so KMC makes great chains. I think it's a great chain for the price. Kind of a bang for buck chain in my opinion, which is what this build is, so it made sense to use it. I'm very excited to see this. So, some more of those in there. Alrighty. Making a mess, aren't they? Okay. Get all this fun stuff out. And if there's that nice lock ring. Looks good. Some separate cogs coming in a little bag. And here we go. Let's check out this. Alright, so it comes in quite a few little pieces here. Machining looks terrific. Looks really good. Alright, this is an 11 to 48 wide range cassette. On this lock ring, let me find it, here it is. This spacer was around it, so it's kind of stored like this around it. So if you get this cassette, you will need this for that, so definitely keep an eye out, because as you can see, for these two bottom parts, they're there. This has a spacer on top for this next cog, And then the next cog that goes on after that does not have any form of spacer on it. So it's just that, and that's what this one is for. It'll go there, and this goes on, and then the next two obviously have spacers on these again. So just put it all together, and then you get your wide range 10-speed cassette. As I play Pyramid here, don't mind me. And then the lock ring. So, feels like a very nice cassette. Feels pretty light too, which is nice. But, nice little 10-speed setup. I've been wanting to use this Advent X for a while, but I didn't have a reason to. So, I'm very glad to be doing this build. Alright, so here is the full setup for what's going to be on the back of the bike. As you can see, the Advent X derailleur, KMC chain, the Advent X shifter, and I don't know if I said this earlier, I don't think I did, but shifting feels very good. Very, very nice clicks. That thumb right there, that grip, feels really nice as well. So, all this feels really well built. Like I said, the review seemed very positive over it, so I'm excited to get it on the frame when I actually get the frame back, because right now it's getting powder coated. Super stoked on that. But alright, now that we've unboxed and looked at these, let's talk about what's going to be slightly in front of that to actually drive all this stuff. I decided to not do SRAM this time. I typically always do the dub system, and I just really like the dub system. It's always worked for me. But to get this was about $40 cheaper. So I found these cranks, which they are the Deore cranks. I've been wanting to use the Deore cranks for a while, but they've been kind of out of stock everywhere. But I found these ones in stock, and I was able to grab them. But I love that Deore logo. I think it looks absolutely stellar. So I've been wanting to give these a go, and I am. So let's get this all opened, see what comes in the box. I love opening bike parts. It is so fun for me. But looks awesome. I really, really like these. I was debating on doing the IXF cranksets again, and since I'm not doing technically a budget build this time, and I'm doing a bang for buck build, IXF cranksets are nice, especially for the price, but whenever you can spend roughly $40 to $50 more to get some name brand parts, I think if you have the extra cash, that's what you should do. So, just my humble personal opinion. Ooh, this looks so good. Alright, now let's take a look at the bottom bracket, but went with a MT800 bottom bracket. But I'm guessing this is just a basic bottom bracket, so nothing too crazy here. But since we're looking at it all, figure out how to open it. Very, very greasy. Holy cow. They grease their stuff. I don't know if it's just this greasy to help protect it from shipping or for shipping, which is very possible. Bearings feel super smooth. Look at all that. It is just caked in grease. Holy cow. So it came with a nice tool as well. That's pretty cool that they include a plastic one. I actually have a metal one. Look at all that grease. Good grief. I guess more grease is better than zero grease, but that is a ton. It's kind of nasty. But very cool that they include this. I went and washed my hands real quick because this is greased so well. Good grief, that's crazy. But I did want to check this because I noticed that the actual crankset did not come with a tool to get the lock ring off, but it is just the same as the bottom bracket tool. So this plastic one will fit on it. And like I said, if you have the actual metal one, there it goes, good grief. But if you have the actual metal one, that'll work too. But you may have an issue getting over the spindle, I guess, depending on how wide it is. But so that's good to know because this does use that lock ring right there to put that on. Well, so here is my entire drivetrain for my bang for buck bike build. I'm so very excited to get this build going, and I'm very excited over these parts that I've chosen. I think they're going to do exactly what I want them to do. I think they're going to be terrific for the bike and for the build I'm doing. But are there anything that you think I shouldn't have chose? What would you have done instead of what I decided to do? Let me know in the comments. But I'm so excited to get this series rolling, and thank you so much for watching the first episode of this build. As usual, please consider subscribing, and thank you so very much. Until next time, take care.